it is very amazing.
We have a common goal.
The landscape has changed.
We're learning more about these diseases now than ever before.
It's a really exciting time to be, studying cancer and trying to treat cancer.
We're very interested in targeting a disease called Acute Myelogenous Leukemia. It's also called AML. And this disease is a devastating disease for children and adults, and we've had very ineffective therapy for this disease. We're actually incorporating an approach which will actually eliminate these T cells. In 2010, we were primarily interested in halting the immune reaction in the context of stem cell transplantation. We made the procedure better, but still the problem remains that the disease itself would come back. When you have relapsed acute myelogenous leukemia, it's a very tough situation. It's an uphill battle for most patients. Transplantation is tough. So if you can develop a medical therapy that's really targeted, that would be a great advance. This is the first reagent that's been developed in the world for this. And so it's being tested now. The drug has been approved for clinical trials by the FDA. We're in the phase 1 portion of this study. We've shown that the drug is highly effective at targeting acute leukemia cells and bringing T cells in and activating the T cells. Potentially, if it's really effective and does such a good job that you don't need a transplant, you'd be saving patients the risk of morbidity and mortality from a transplant, which would be transformative.
I have a focus on breast cancer treatment and breast cancer research. We're working on developing a mammoglobin DNA vaccine, and it was first funded by the Cancer Frontier Fund in 2010. We're really excited about this vaccine strategy because it could potentially be used to treat most patients with breast cancer. Mammoglobin A, it's a very attractive target for a breast cancer vaccine. And why do I say that? Up to 80% of breast cancers express this protein. Once someone is diagnosed with breast cancer, it can be used as a treatment to help prevent the breast cancer from coming back. Ultimately, it may replace chemotherapy in the prevention of disease recurrence. But a cancer vaccine has even more potential than that. A cancer vaccine could potentially be used to prevent breast cancer in women that are at high risk for developing breast cancer. And we just published the results of our first clinical trial. The trial demonstrated not only that the vaccine is safe, but it did also impact progression of disease in breast cancer patients, which is very surprising. It's pretty uncommon that you see an impact on disease progression in a phase 1 trial, so it's very encouraging. What we're learning now will ultimately be applicable to other cancers.
Taking care of these patients is very tough. It challenges your breadth of knowledge, but it also challenges your psyche. It's very hard working with people that are so sick, and oftentimes you do your best and they fail. We feel like we shouldn't give up. Our response is just the opposite, that we get pissed off and we want to do better. Cancer Frontier funding has allowed us to get NIH funding, which has allowed big projects to move forward.
We're working on great new ideas about how to make a cancer vaccine better. That's where the Cancer Frontier Fund is really invaluable, because it allows us to take those great ideas, generate the preliminary data, and then compete for funding from the National Cancer Institute and other funding mechanisms that make these trials a reality.
If you make the best vaccine for breast cancer or for melanoma in the world, there's got to be ways of making it better. Of course, right? Why would we stop? Whatever benefit you get, let's just keep on pushing forward. We're at a great institution. We have fantastic resources. We're smart people. We have desperately ill patients, and we got to get our butt in gear, and we got to think outside the box, and we got to just do it.